Shalom, Kohalo, Yahweh Shem Shai, Bashem Rakapadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, and I'm on the road. I just pulled over for a moment to take a break, and the Spirit jumped on me to do this this lesson. And sometimes when the Spirit is hot, you got to go with it. And this is also a response to a video that Elder Yashawamba did. It's called Year of Prophecy. The nations are angry, and they are. And if you see the way that 2020 rolled in with some acts of violence in Iraq and Syria on sovereign land, and he gave the example of what it's like, and and I never really thought about it that way, but it was brilliant. And I'm just gonna lamb back on what he said. But he said it would be like a man having his house, and and us being embassies. America has embassies everywhere in all these other people's countries and homes. So it would be like a man having a list of instructions in your house, on your refrigerator, for your wife, your family, your children to follow, but it's your house. I'm gonna take it even a step further. The man's gonna have a 8x10 picture of himself with an 8x10 image of his standard, his flag. All right, over your bedroom doors. So every time you walk into your bedroom, his face and his standard is on your bedroom. His vibration is moving throughout your house, even though his vibration is something that that has nothing to do with you. All right. So really quickly, I'm going to read some scriptures. This won't be a long video. You got, Esau got his meter maid, the Judite woman walking around ticketing people. So even though I'm sitting in the car, she might try to ticket me anyway. I've seen them do it. So I want to do this quickly. But yeah, I'm going to start with Micah. This is Micah 2:2, and it says, "And they covet fields, and they take them by violence, and houses they take them away, so that they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage." All right, and this is what they do. They oppress you and your heritage, even in your own house, even in your own dwelling. This is what they do. And and one of the biggest issues that people are having with this, including Christians, is just like Elder Yashawamba said. The Christians want to start reading the Bible at Matthew. And I just had someone on my comment board, on an old video, just popped up right before I turned the camera on, saying Jesus loves everybody. And then this long, I didn't read the whole thing, and then at the end of it, it said, he loves the blacks, yes, but he loves everyone else too. Well, first of all, there's no such thing as black. And second of all, this person clearly does not understand the scriptures. And I just politely asked them to provide 4 precepts to prove your point. And then I made a second comment, was said, with haste, I need those 4 precepts. Because I doubt if this person even knows what a precept is. All right, because the people are experts in church and religion and not in the Bible, man. All right, because the Lord declared the end in the beginning, and now the end is declaring itself. Let's grab that. And like the elder said, they disregard the Lord came for his people. They disregard the government that he's setting up with the Israelites in the end of days. They disregard the lineage of David and his role in the kingdom of heaven, and with his men and the 144,000 at government. They disregard all these things, man. All right. But this is Isaiah 46:10, and it reads, declaring the end from the beginning And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying my counsel shall stand, and I would do all my pleasure. So all the prophecies had to play out, man. And that's what they're not dealing with. Neither E nor Jake or no Christian. The whole world of Christianity is dealing with prophecies. And that's why they stumble and fall and make themselves look like fools, because they try to go into the Bible without acknowledging the prophecies. Without acknowledging the things that would play out and the nations and the races of people which would be involved in them. You know, in the beginning of the book, Who is Esau Edom, Charles Wiseman, the Edomite who wrote it, he politely tells you that the Bible is for people who've reached the point, or his book, to that could actually chew strong meat and understand the racial aspect of the Bible. The Bible has a racial aspect to it, which modern day Christian in the world is disregarding. All right, that being a problem. And so, in this whole process, he is being found out and being shamed. And that's why the nations are angry. Let's grab a quick scripture on that. This is Sirach. Sirach 27. Verses 15 and 16. And it reads, the strife of the proud is bloodshedding, and their revilings are grievous to the ear. All right. Verse 16. Whoso discovereth the secrets loses his credit, and shall never find friend to his mind. And that's Esau, Edom, has lost his credit throughout the world. Literally, his credit rating is shrinking, and his credibility among the nations has dwindled to the point to the nations are now rising up against him. And so he distracts with news and other things, and makes other people the boogeyman and the bad guy, like the current ongoing American Holocaust in America on the Israelites, and now the demonizing of the Israelites who actually go out and do the work of the Lord, man. That's what they're doing. All right. But the Lord was declaring the end in the beginning, man. And last night, you know, I had a dream, a vision, and I saw a portion of that end. You know, I was like I was witnessing a movie in real time, man. I was watching a bunch of high-ranking military men in a bunker, and suits, who were clearly high-level people in the government. And they were all stressed out and chain smoking and losing their minds and panicking because they were inside these bunkers, and they had lost control over the war situations, and missiles were inbound and incoming. And they were arguing about what they were gonna do, and one man and another man stood there, and they I guess they turned their keys at the same time, and they just started pushing all the buttons, and then just said, God help us. And what God were they calling on? They were calling on Satan, man, because they weren't calling on the God, on the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And guess what? See, that's just it. He is in the trick bag, because what he doesn't realize or acknowledge, or he clearly doesn't understand, is that Satan works for the Most High God. He works for Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. He is a servant, and his servant was to cause confusion and chaos. And you prayed to him, believed him, and he goes back and he gives his full report to the Lord. And there's scriptures in the Bible, to precepts to solidify that. Multiple precepts. You know, and it was just, and watching these men panic inside of this bunker, and they had, and with those small slits with the glass where they can look, and the small slits of glass were probably about 3 or 4 feet thick, and the walls were probably like 20, 30 feet thick, but it wasn't going to be enough. They knew that they were going to die. All right. And you could, and when you looked out the cracks, and you could see through to the base and the other people, the other lower level military, you could just see them all panicking and driving around and just going crazy. And the people trying to escape their incoming doom, and there is no escape, man. Let's go to 2 Peter's 3 and verse 10. Because why E is setting us up, the Lord is setting him up, man. And our power is greater than you, E. All right? But this is 2 Peter's 3 and 10. And it reads, but the day of Yahweh will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and all the works therein shall be burned up. So, you know, what kind of heat is that going to be? The same heat that was in Sodom and Gomorrah, but magnified. And it's actually going to make the concrete, the steel, the elements, lead, everything's going to melt. All right? Verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and goodliness, spreading the good news, man, doing the work of Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. All right? Telling the truth, no matter what condemnation may come to you. Verse 12, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of power, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. All right, so everything, and guess what? Humans are part of those elements, man. The animals. The Lord is going to completely wipe out all life in Babylon. All that except for the elect, right? Which we're all striving to be a part of. All right. So even the 2/3 of Israel that are here on the soils of Babylon are going to die. The ones that are left that haven't died in the famine and the riots and the race riots and the disease and, you know, the zombie apocalypse or whatever the hell is going to happen, you know. When people get into that zombified mind state and start actually being cannibals and that sort of thing, man, because that's coming, man. A complete and total utter breakdown of society. And all right, and I'm at the base of probably one of the most expensive buildings in Chicago and one of the most wealthiest neighborhoods in Chicago collectively. And these people have no idea of what's coming to them. All right, so with that, I'm gonna give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Bashim Abishai, Wa Abba Babal, Shalom.